My friends at Easy Cater are workplace catering pros, helping you find food for everything from daily employee meals to staff meetings and special events. Visit easycater.com/leaderassistant to find out more.
Hi, my name is Kira Bennett, and today's quote is "Anyone, anywhere can make a positive difference" by Mark Sanborn.
The Leader Assistant podcast exists to encourage and challenge assistants to become confident, game-changing leader assistants.
The Leader Assistant podcast is exclusively brought to you by Goody, which provides effortless gifting for all occasions. If you're tired of sending tacky, impersonal business gifts, then you should definitely check out Goody. My friends at Goody offer a collection of hundreds of curated brands like Levain Bakery, Therabody, Milk Bar, and Ember mugs. With Goody, if your recipient doesn't like your gift, they can swap it out for one they do like. You can find perfect gifts for any occasion, whether it's work anniversaries, birthdays, new hire onboarding, or company swag. It's free to start gifting, and you get a $20 credit when you sign up. Also, be sure to mention the Leader Assistant podcast when signing up, and Goody will add an extra $10 credit to your account. So go to leaderassistant.com/goody to disrupt the inefficiencies in your team's gifting strategy. Again, that's leaderassistant.com/goody. Hey friends, thanks for tuning in to the Leader Assistant podcast. It's your host, Jeremy Burrows, and today I'm excited to be speaking with Kira Bennett. Kira, how's it going?
Pretty good for 6 weeks in, but yes, very good.
Where are you in the world?
I'm in the UK.
Nice. And 6 weeks in to what?
And doing my own virtual assistant, personal assistant, executive assistant kind of company.
Wow. So what made you decide to branch out on your own?
I've had quite a few different roles over the years, many administrative roles in the NHS, which we're very blessed to have over here. I've had lots of experience in the private medical sectors as well. I've got a bit of finance background, and I just thought I've got skill sets in so many different areas. It'd be great to put it into one place and help people with those skills.
Awesome. So how has it been going so far?
A whirlwind would be the politest way of saying it. 6 weeks in, I'm already 3 very, very different clients in. Got a fourth potential. It just is rocketing. And I think for anyone out there who doesn't believe that they can do something independently, I would really be encouraging and leading them to do that.
Awesome. So how did you find those clients?
I actually prayed and they found me. It's a very interesting way that actually I built my website. I did that independently. I got a bit of marketing behind me and built my own branding and thought, do you know what? I could go for weeks and weeks and weeks going over this, or I just launch it and just have the guts and be brave. So that's what I did. And in doing so, I launched it. Within the first 24 hours, I had my first client who was a friend who just said, Kira, I need help. I need emails, calendar, just general life stuff organized. And I was like, fab, exactly what I wanted. Then my second client in, he found me actually on Facebook and just was like, hey, I'm at breaking point. I'm running my own company and I'm up till 2 a.m. doing administrative tasks. Can you help? So he was another great one. And yeah, it just kind of kept going from there, that people, if you've got the right skills and you're bold enough and brave enough, people come to you.
So how do you work on, over the last 6 weeks and as you launched, how did you work on pricing? Did you decide on pricing and have you stuck with it? Have you had to adapt and adjust as you get going?
I I thought originally I would stick to my price and that would be my price over it. It wouldn't budge. But actually, I I kind of took a different approach. And each person who I work with has a different budget, has a different package almost. They want me to do different things. So actually, my pricing then changed according to what people could afford. And I think in a world where we're post-pandemic and people have, some people have lost their whole entire business and just beginning to build up. One person I work for is for a charity. One of them is a charity, and I just couldn't bring myself to say, here's a full whack pay. I just couldn't do it. So it's just taking independence.
So how do you manage multiple clients?
I love it purely because at any one point, it's the same as the NHS. We manage different people, you manage different patients. You have to deal with each person's help and what they want and what they require you to do. I think if I went for I always said I wanted to help small businesses, thinking I would be helping tradesmen and plumbers, electricians, gardeners, and things like that. But actually, I've got a wide variety of skill sets. I could help anybody. I like helping everybody.
So do you have different email accounts for each client, or do you use a project management tool?
I have different project management tools for each of them. So I can send emails from each of their accounts and act as their PAs on their behalf. It's not always about representing myself. I'm representing them and building up their own businesses. So one of them, I just go from his account.
Nice. And you mentioned before I hit record, I'm going to put you on the spot. You mentioned you were nervous about this interview. You reached out to me and I said, hey, be on the podcast. So what prompted you or gave you the courage to take a risk and be on the show today?
Working virtually, I'm basically at home and the kids are at school, and instead of listening to the radio, I thought I'd listen to what other people are doing in the world. And I'm really inspired by some of the people you've had on your podcasts. I think their stories are incredible. I love listening to how they get to be where they are today. And I love learning from that. So for me, I thought if they can do it, I'm going to have a go at it. I don't know if it'll turn out any good, but hey, we'll edit a few bits.
No, you're doing great so far. Thanks for being on the show. What's one of your favorite hobbies?
It's 9:30 in the UK currently, and I've just come back from hot yoga, which is 36 degrees, and a lot of stretching in a hot heated room.
Yeah, that sounds like a hobby that I'll pass on, but I'm glad you enjoy it.
I heard that you don't like swimming either.
I am not a good swimmer. I can barely swim across the pool. So yeah, not a fan of being in the water, but I do love being on the water.
I love swimming. I think I messaged you and said all three of my kids swim better than I do, but it's still one of those things that I need to be in the water as well.
Nice. Well, what would you tell a new assistant who maybe is listening and they just started with a new executive or a new company, or maybe this is their first assistant role? What would you tell them? What would you recommend, or how would you encourage them as they kick off their assistant role?
Be brave, ask questions. You can learn so much if you ask the right questions, and don't be scared to ask those questions. Because they are definitely worth learning from.
Yeah, I always like to say be curious, because you can always learn so much, and keep that curiosity up even throughout your career.
Yeah, completely that. I would say learn lots and just keep asking the questions.
Awesome. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners?
I just think that actually you can go back to the quote, anyone, anywhere can make a positive difference. I think in a world where we've just come out of a pandemic, like I keep saying, do you know what? You can make a difference. Smile at people, be kind, be that person who makes a difference in someone else's life. It will make it may not be a big thing for you, but it might be a big thing to someone else.
Well said. Well, thank you, Kira, for being on the show. I actually am looking out my window and it's really, really getting stormy, and my boys are supposed to get off the school bus here in a minute. So I'm going to take that as a sign to wrap it up and make sure they can don't get blown across the street by the wind on their way home. But yeah, thanks for being on the show. How can people reach out to you and say hi?
I'm on LinkedIn. I've got my website also, www.bennettpartnerships.co.uk, or I'm on Facebook as well if you're in the UK, or just, any way possible.
Awesome. Well, I'll put your links in the show notes and people can reach out and say hi. And thanks again, Kira. Best of luck to you for the next 6 weeks and hopefully many, many more weeks in your new virtual assistant business.
Perfect. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Please review on Apple Podcasts. GoBulls.com